Thor's Thoughts, number 2. It is 1:45 on a gorgeous Thursday morning. It's about 10 degrees outside here in the frozen tundra. In the man cave, all the Thor stuff. And I saw Star Wars about an hour ago, and I came home and I did what most people do at 1 o'clock in the morning, wash their dogs. So now that I'm done doing that, I figured why not drop a Thor's Thoughts? I told you never know what was going to happen, and it's happening now. So let's get at it. What's it about tonight? I'm glad that you asked. Tonight, I'm going to just talk about my final thoughts on episode 7. Now that I've seen the movie 4 times, and I actually I stayed awake for the entire movie this time. The first 3 times I saw it, I fell asleep for portions of the movie. This time, I was awake the whole time. It was the first time I saw it in IMAX 3D. I finally got some good trailers. Anyone who's seen the episodes or the review knows I got crap trailers the first few times I went. This time I got good trailers. I didn't get BVS or Civil War or Apocalypse or any of that, but I did get Warcraft. And honestly, seeing Warcraft theatrically on the big screen and not watching it on my phone or on a tablet or anything like that or on my home computer changed my view of the trailer a little bit. It made me, I think, more excited for the movie. Because, realistically, trailers are meant to be watched theatrically. They're not meant to be watched on our phones. We all watch them on our phones now, but they're meant to be watched on that big screen. And I think they play out better. And just like a trailer like Warcraft, I didn't really like it when I watched it on my phone, but then when I saw it on the big screen, I'm actually really looking forward to this movie now. And anyone who watched last Thor's Thoughts knows, I really wasn't that warm on it last week when I was doing Thor's Thoughts. I think I did it on a Thursday last week too. So now I'm pumped for Warcraft. Let's go. But this is going to be my final thoughts on episode 7, a little bit of speculation for episode 8, and just kind of I don't know, one more Star Wars video. Why the hell not? I don't have nothing better to do. It's almost 2 a.m. I'm bored. Dogs are clean. So, let's talk about Star Wars a little bit. After seeing it 4 times, I'm not going to say it's the best Star Wars ever. I'm not going to say it is better than the original trilogy or compared to the original trilogy, really. I think it stands on its own. And I think that also, if you really want to ask me what do I think, I guess I do think it is comparable to the original trilogy. It is a great story that sets up a whole nother story to come, reintroduces us to the universe, reintroduces us to characters, like I said before, spoilers, so we get to see some beloved characters leave. We get to see beloved characters show up at the end. There's little parts throughout, like when Finn's in the Millennium Falcon and grabs the training drone ball, and he just throws it aside, or when he turns on the game that they play in the Millennium Falcon and stuff like that. There's just a lot of nods to the original trilogy and just to Star Wars in general. And I found myself probably enjoying this viewing the most of all the times I've seen it. I don't know if it was because I was pretty much by myself in the theater. I think there was 3 other people in the entire theater, but it was awesome. I just got to sit back, relax, enjoy. And I really enjoyed the 3D too. I think part of that might be why I actually stayed awake for the whole movie, because my eyes get kind of blurry and I don't love 3D, but I really wanted to see this movie in 3D. So I saw it in 3D and it didn't disappoint. It's never disappointed the whole, every time I've seen it, but this time was something different to me. I got emotional at the end, especially when Leia's hugging Rey after they get back, and Leia knows Han's dead, Rey knows Han's dead, no one says anything, and they just hug. And even Han's death scene, when we first did the review, I was really lukewarm on that death scene. I didn't think it was done right. But now, I think, because I never really saw the entirety of that scene, I just saw pieces of it. Watching the entirety of the scene now, that was gorgeously done. How Kylo Ren said thank you as the last words to Han, I don't know. And to kind of go into speculation for 8 and 9 and where I think the story is going to go is, I don't think this is going to be like how most Star Wars stories have been a redemption story. I don't think this is going to be a redemption story. I don't think Kylo Ren's going to be redeemed through this story. I think by killing his father, pretty much is like, no, I'm going down the path of the dark side all the way. And I don't think he's going to turn back to the light. I think that whole, like, some of the dialogue in there about his like conflicting feelings between light and dark side are just a red herring, where he's going to stay dark the whole time. I could be way off on that, but that's just what I think. Obviously, I think Rey is going to be, the super powerful one of the group. I loved her and Finn. I mean, I said that in the first review too, but even watching this one again, just the new characters really stand out to me. Poe Dameron, Finn, Rey, they really, 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 they're going to have a lasting impact, And I think my biggest thing is I can't wait to see where they go next with this story. I think Snoke's definitely going to end up being somebody different. I don't think his real name's Snoke. I think we'll find out who he is eventually. I also think Luke is going to battle at some point. I think they're going to leave the place. I think Luke will probably die at the hands of Kylo Ren. If I had to call it, if I was saying, like, this is what I think is going to happen, and it's Thor's thoughts, so that's what I say, is I think Luke's going to die by Kylo Ren's hand. Where master, or, where pupil kills master, which we've seen multiple times in the Star Wars lore. So, other than that, God, there's just so much. The whole reason I wanted to come home and shoot this video is just because when I left the movie, I was feeling really upbeat and really, really, really jazzed. Like, it was such a good time. I had such a good time that this viewing, it was ridiculous. And I know we've done a review on this movie, and I'm not going to give a review score because I don't think it needs it, but it is one of the best Star Wars of all time. And I understand there's people who don't like it, and I'm not going to sit and argue with you on schematics on why you don't like it. I mean, if you pick any movie apart hard enough, you can poke holes in any movie. There is no perfect movie. But this is a good movie. This is a great movie. And it's so worth the wait. To wait, I don't know, my entire life pretty much to see this movie made it all that more special. And seeing it like on opening night with my brother, and then going again with my group of friends for the second viewing, and then the third time was just with a couple people, and then the fourth time by myself. They've all been great times, but like I said, this time tonight, just it impacted me differently than any time I'd seen the movie before. And maybe because now I've seen it so many times where it's not, everything's flying at me at once. I'm actually like watching the movie and I kind of know what's happening for most of it because I didn't fall asleep through all of it. But a lot of part of the end is a lot of times where I'd fall asleep is at the end part. And that's when it really gets good. But like I said, I fall asleep at movies a lot. And the end of this movie is awesome. That fight scene between Kylo Ren and Rey, and I know people have had problems with that, like, why are they able to beat him where he's so much more well-trained than they are? And my whole retort to that is, he was so injured already, and she is more powerful than anybody knows, I think. And her lineage, definitely a Skywalker. See, that's hard, though. I mean, I don't know. Maybe not a Skywalker. I'd love if she wasn't. That'd be great, start a new family lineage. But she's definitely somehow tied to the Skywalkers. I mean, they've said before these are like the Skywalker stories. So we'll see. Luke's daughter, Obi-Wan's granddaughter, who the hell knows? We will find out. I just can't wait to see what they do. Rian Johnson, episode 8, it's going to be dark. Like, that is going to be a dark movie, and I cannot wait for that. If it's anything like Empire, and I know people have said too that this one's too much like New Hope. And I see the similarities in that, but I also say it's not really. It is, but it isn't. Yes, it's an homage to the first one, but so was Creed, and everyone loved Creed. And that was pretty much Rocky 1 just redone with Rocky as Adrian. So, I don't know, whatever. And then I'm not even going to touch on the whole, like, Poe Dameron being gay thing and stuff like that, because that has no bearing on canon, on story, on who the character is. I mean, gay, straight, likes aliens, who cares? Who really cares? Definitely Finn and Rey are going to have some sort of relationship. That was blatantly obvious through the movie. And I love how strong Rey is too. Like the female characters, they didn't lie. I mean, yeah, Captain Phasma was underutilized, but I think she'll get her due in episode 8 or maybe episode 9. But Rey, like just in the beginning, why are you holding my hand? I don't need you to hold my hand to run. Some of her lines, and then when they're looking for her and she's already escaped and already has like, you know, climbing around and stuff like that. There was a lot of times where they showed her strength. And I thought that was a really good thing for them to do, because they want to emphasize these strong female characters, and they should, because they're awesome. I mean, like I said, I love the new characters, and Rey especially. She probably is my favorite of the new characters. She's badass. She, you know, she's a pilot. Han likes her, so I mean, if Harrison Ford and Han Solo like you, you're pretty much good in my book. So. Well, I've been going 10 minutes, so that's a long Thor's thoughts for me. But it's Star Wars, people. This is going to be my last video on Star Wars, I think. I mean, we might talk about it on the show, but I'm not going to do any more Star Wars videos. I promise. Not at least until Rogue One or Episode 8. And Rebels is coming back, too, later in the month, so look out for that, because we'll be talking about that on the show now that Ash is over and stuff like that. So, but let me know what you think. I mean, let me know if you agree with my points, disagree with my points, you know, have some different points. I mean, I'm sure people do out there, and I love to hear them. So, like always, watch the Basement Boy Banner episodes, subscribe to this YouTube channel, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Just search Basement Boy Banner. You'll find us. Deuces.
If you like what you just saw, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our videos, follow us on Twitter and Instagram, and like our Facebook page.